Okay, hi everyone. I'm Linda Gravani. I'm the president of the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council, and today is Monday, February 20th, 2023. This is the Land Use Committee meeting. So I'd like to welcome everybody that's here this evening. The committee voting members are Gwendolyn Flynn, Jim Stein, and Danica Middleton. And I will take roll, and I do see that Jim is here and Danica is here, so we do have quorum. I know Jim and Danica have completed the mandatory training. Oh, goodbye. So we're legal. That's good. Discussion of possible action to adopt the February 2023 agenda. I have a correction. I was, as I mentioned, on spin dry. So number 6 should actually be 6839-6845 North Woodley. If you would make that correction, I move that Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council approve the February 2023 agenda as corrected. Would somebody like to?
I second.
Thank you. Okay, Jim, you want to approve?
I vote to approve.
Thank you. And Danica?
Approve.
Thank you. And I can't vote. Number 5, discussion and possible action regarding the approval of the January 16, 2023 land use meeting minutes. Danica and Jim, have you seen the minutes?
No,
Yes, and
they were part of the packet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jim, you want to make a motion?
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Thank you. Yes, Jim, you approve? You have to say yes, Jim. It's procedure. It makes no sense, but it's procedure. Okay, so
yes.
Okay, yes. Danica?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion approved. All right, we're gonna whiz right on through here. Discussion and number 6, discussion of possible action regarding FCPC-2022-4641-AC-CU-BL-SPR, which is 6839 to 6845 North Woodley Avenue. This is a proposed building, is a 3-story, 80,000 foot self-storage and truck rental facility. And that's being presented by Jonathan Razbania. Did I say that somewhat correctly?
Perfect.
Oh, thank you.
You got it. You got it right.
Whoa. Okay. The floor is yours.
Perfect. Once again, I want to say thank you very much for hosting me tonight at the land use meeting. I know that it's President's Day, so again, thank you for making the time and getting us on for kind of short notice. So I don't know if you guys remember me, but we have done several presentations in front of Lake Balboa, and you guys have always been very welcome, so we're thankful for that. So we have another project which you had previously approved, I believe, unanimously on the committee a couple of years ago. So we built a 136 square foot extra space self-storage facility on Woodley. It's a beautiful modern self-storage building, A-class facility that is, we just opened the doors actually in December. It's doing quite well. You know, we're occupying the facility fairly quickly. The ownership was approached early last year to purchase the lot next door. So, you know, unbeknownst to them, you know, they were presented with the opportunity to acquire another lot. And that lot, unfortunately, because, you know, again, it didn't have any of the entitlements similar to the ones that we had already approved. In order to expand the facility, which is going to be in addition to the existing facility, we have to get the same exact entitlements approved. So it's going to have the same entitlements that we had with the other project. So it'd probably be easier if I just do a share screen with you guys.
Please
so
do.
let me go ahead and do that. All right, see if I can do it. Share screen. Okay, can you guys see this?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, very good. All right, so okay. So this is this is like a rendering of the facility. So the existing facility is to the right, which has the glass windows facing Woodley, the vision glass here. And then then the expansion is where it says lobby. So where it says lobby, this is the expansion piece. So essentially, it's going to be a nice complement to this building because we're going to have additional elevator banks that will service the south side of the building. So the people who rent from the building will be able to access the south side with a new elevator bank, which will make it nice and simple for a lot of our renters. The footprint of the building, the size of the gross square footage of the building is going to be 80,000 square feet, but the net rentable area. So this is a site plan. So you can see this is the. See if I can make it a little bit smaller. So the top is the existing facility where it says existing self-storage, and then the colored portion is the addition. So this self-storage is going to have a basement, and then it's going to be 3 stories above. And what's really interesting and very creative about the building is we're actually going to be matching the floors. So when you get onto the first floor, the first floor, second floor, and the third floor corridors are going to all be connected to each other. So you'll be able to flow in from one building to the other. So the office, so it's going to have like a sky bridge. There's going to be a little bit of a separation with the building, but it's going to have like a little bit of it's going to have a bridge that will connect the buildings together. And you'll still go in from the main building for the office, and then you can go to building B if you want to go through building B to go to your unit, or you can go through building A to get to building B. So you have both options. This is the first floor plan. You see the loading lobby where it says lobby, and then you have the elevator, and then you go to the units. And then second floor. And then you got the second floor. Sorry, that was the basement level. This is the first floor. So you see the loading lobby, and then you have the elevator here, and then you have like a short-term bike. You have a short-term bike room. And then on the next floor, you have it's pretty much the same, except for the unit mix kind of varies a little bit depending on the need of the floor. So again, similar concept. Hold on one second. And then you get to the third floor. Again, similar concept on the third floor as well. Let me go to and then I'll go back and do a recap. I know I'm going through this a little bit fast. but I will go through kind of recapping it. I wanted to give you guys an overview. 1 second, please. Sorry about that. Okay, so these are the elevations. So I'll kind of slow down a little bit here. So this is the east elevation on Woodley. You see the vision glass on the top. This is the loading lobby right here. And then you have to the right where it says phase 1, you see that's how the phase 1 building basically connects. So the height of the building is going to be matching with the existing building, which is 37 feet. We're not asking for anything else in height. Again, all the entitlements mimic that. I'm going to go through all the entitlements one by one as well. Let's see. So again, the building and the finishes and everything are going to be very similar. This is going to be a much smaller building than the other building. The first building is 136,000 gross square feet, and then the net rentable is 99,000. As far as phase 2, that's going to be, phase 2 is going to be phase 2 gross is about 79,000, and then net rentable is going to be close to 62,000 net rentable. So, okay. So this is the site plan. I'm just going to kind of lower it a little bit so you can see it. So you enter through Woodley, and then you go right, pretty much you go right into your, right to your units right here. But you rent your units at building A, and then you come to building B, or you can come through building A to get to building B. The entitlements that we're proposing, first entitlement that we're going to be asking for is a zone change. So the existing zone is MR1 and parking zone, and it's going to conform to building A, which is M1-2D. So that's going to be the zone change that we're applying for. And then because the building is over 50,000 square feet, it has a site plan review. That's just mandatory if it's over 50,000 square feet. And then we also have what's called the height district change. That's really to give us a little bit more FAR. And again, the FAR is in conformance with building A. So
I don't think we understand what
2.1 FAR, which the existing
I'm sorry, I don't think
okay.
we understand
FAR
what
is a
FAR
floor
is.
area ratio.
Oh, okay, thank you.
What is
sure.
it? Floor area ratio?
Sure. Correct. It's a floor area ratio. So on building A, we already approved for 2.1, and then we're doing a similar ask. Pretty much all the entitlements that have already been approved by the city council and CPC are exactly what we're asking for here. I think the only difference is we're asking for a little bit more on the FAR, like 0.1 more, but that's just because of the actual footprint is so much smaller than phase 1. But other than that, pretty much everything else is all the same. So you can kind of go to, so you can, again, this is the project. Again, the east facing of Woodley. And again, we're asking for a zone change, a site plan review, height district change. And then because it's a self-storage facility, we're also asking for a conditional use permit. Pretty much that's it. And this building is also going to be overparked for what we have. Right now we have 37 spaces on unit A, on building A. And then on building B, we're gonna have an additional 9 spaces. So by code, both buildings now only need 40 spaces because we're also in a transit area. So we could take advantage of that, but we are gonna have more parking than what's actually required. And then, you know, we've been in operation for about since December. So we have about 2 months of operation. And really, the amount of parking that's being used on a day-to-day basis is probably about, I would say, like maximum, maybe 10 out of 37 spaces. And that's, we're very much over parked for self-storage. And I think a lot of the self-storages are really going to be taking advantage, and a lot of the industrial buildings are going to be taking advantage of the reduced count. But you know, this facility is going to be well parked, and it's a super secure building. I mean, I do encourage you guys, if you ever, you know, if you want a real secure building to ever store your goods, it's a really nice A-class building. Security, you know, we try to use a lot of color vision glass, and it's a reputable third party. I've been working with Extra Space Storage for the past 6 years now, pretty much hand in hand, from all the way from the beginning of the entitlement phase to the development phase and to now the renting phase. So we have a pretty good understanding of how everything works. And thankfully, we have a very good builder that's strong and fast. And we're going to be hopefully utilizing a similar builder once we go into the building phase. And that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, I'm welcome to answer any questions you guys may have.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
What's behind this new building?
An industrial building.
I beg your pardon?
Industrial building.
Industrial building. Okay, so it's not.
It's all industrial, yeah.
Okay. And then also, it says here for truck rental facility. So
Correct.
some of those spaces are going to be used for truck rentals. How many would that be?
You know, that's something that, you know, we have it on there, maybe a couple, but I don't think the ownership is really looking to do much truck rental. That's maybe in the future, maybe a couple of spaces, but I don't think that, you know, at this time they're looking to do that, but they want to have the option in the future.
Okay, Jim?
Well, why did you decide to go down to have a below ground area?
Oh, because it won't pencil out. We're already losing on the building. The building will not financially be feasible if we don't go below ground. And if we went above ground, then we would do another 37-foot, go beyond the 37-foot height limit. That would be another ask, which we didn't do. So we were in conformance with the other building.
Another question, is there going to be any HVAC or anything on the roof of this place?
A what?
Any HVAC?
Heating and air
Heating and
conditioning?
air.
Oh, yes. And those will be screened off.
I'm sorry, it's going to be screened off?
Correct.
Okay,
I knew that's where it was going.
I'm sorry.
I said, I figured that's where it was going. Yeah, we're going to have screening on it, just like we had on the other main building.
How does
And what street is to the south and the north?
Van Owen.
You have, exactly.
It's Van Owen, isn't it?
Van Owen. Correct. Hold on one second.
Are there even any,
Thank you.
Are there any homes left over there at all?
Nope, no homes left. Not on that. I don't think there's any homes left on the block. I think that was pretty much it. So one thing that I have to add is, this building it's important to have this building here because the entire block is now conformed industrial. So it's going to clean up any spot zoning that there was on the block. So it's all going to be conformed to industrial.
Uh-huh.
Jim, do you still have your hand up from before?
There was one more question, and that had to
Okay.
do with
How many bike spots?
I always thought the bike spots were especially ridiculous when it came to storage.
Oh,
But
it's annoying. This is the most annoying thing.
Yeah.
We put the bikes. Oh, and we have a lot of bikes. You should come see the facility. There's one whole unit dedicated a 10 by 30 that has bike spots, and then there's another interior unit that also has a shower room that has bikes in it. And then we have also the exterior of the building, right when you come up Woodley, has another 20. I'm like, well, I guess they're gonna all be biking over to the facility and renting a 5x5.
Carrying their boxes.
Maybe they'll put the trailer on the back. I
They
don't
take
know.
a lot of trips.
But maybe, I mean, that's the code. We're gonna comply with it.
Yeah.
What is the cost per what's the cost for storing there? Is it comparable with everybody else in town?
Right now, I think we're beating everybody else. I mean, I think we're probably, with A-class facilities, we have the best prices in town. I don't think anybody's better than us. I'm not going to be biased, but.
Very good. Karen?
Yes, I was just wondering, do you have temperature controlled?
It is. It's climate controlled. Yeah, it's a beautiful facility. You guys should, when you guys have a chance, if you ever, it's climate controlled. The building A has the drive ups. This one, unfortunately, we just didn't have the land, or else we would have I would love to do the drive ups because the drive ups rent like this, but we just didn't have the space to do it.
What does that mean?
Drive ups mean like when you can literally
Like a
drive
motel.
up to, like you can literally drive up to your unit. You can just drive up to your unit and you don't have to go inside of the building. But
Like
inside
our
of the
storage
building,
space.
exactly. Like, but the thing is, like, I think one main difference with this building is it has high levels of security. So we have a pretty intricate security system in there, and it's just a nice building to be in. It's not like a grungy old self-storage facility. It's like a nice, beautiful A-class facility that's modern, somewhere where you want to come and enjoy. Like, a lot of people just come and they just store their goods and never come back. But this is probably somewhere where they wouldn't mind coming back.
What are the hours?
It's 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have the office is open from 8 to 6. And then after that, everybody has a personal security code. We have a PTI system, and people go inside with everybody gets their own unique access code. And from 6 to 10, they can go into the facility. And then we have security we actually have security there that is watching for any vandals or anything like that.
Thank you.
I have one-
Karen? You just what she confused me.
Well, I was off, I'm on, back on. So do you have a full camera system in the whole place?
Yes, we do.
Danica,
we
you
have
had your
camera
hand.
system, yes.
Sorry. Danica, you had your hand up. Did you decide you didn't have a question?
Yeah, kind of, but how about bathroom facilities?
It does. It does have more bathrooms than the ones that you're going to find in your typical self-storage.
Okay,
it has a bathroom on the first floor and has bathroom on the third floor.
okay, and so people get their own code to get into the building. Now, what if by chance someone gets into the building and
Yes.
decides to camp out there?
To camp out, well, we have again, we have security. We have like security monitoring in the building, and if they notice that there's, that's a pretty great feature. A lot of other self storages don't have that, so we just added that actually recently. And if people stay beyond, or they notice that they're loitering or something like that, then they'll either notify management, or they'll notify the police.
Okay,
So what's happening here is that it's going to be another building behind the one that we already approved.
mhm,
All the requirements, the waivers or whatever, the code change, the zone changes would be the same as what we've already agreed to on the front building.
Correct.
It's in an industrial area, so we're not going to annoy any residents. And down at Woodley and Van Owen, there are some shops there, but you're kind of in the middle of the street, are you?
Yeah, what's great about our, what's happened on Woodley is that Vallarta Market and us has completely transformed and upgraded the entire street. So the entire grid on that stretch of, let's say, like 1,000 feet has all been upgraded. It's incredible. It's
Can
like
you
a
can
big
you show the street map again for me, please? The Zemas.
Oh, the Zemas. Yeah, let me
Yeah.
show you. Yeah. So like along Woodley, the entire stretch of Woodley has all been upgraded. So like from Hart all the way to Heartland, that entire stretch has been upgraded. The entire facility, all the facilities been upgraded.
Can you show us where it is?
Yeah, let me see if I can, hold on. Yeah, I got a handy dandy tool. Let's see if I can do an ortho. Yeah, hold on. Actually, I have something better. Okay. See, you see Bassett
mhm.
and Heartland, right? That entire, actually, I think it's even further. Yeah. All of that has been actually from Van Owen all the way to that entire stretch. Almost every transformer on the right has been upgraded to brand new high the 3-phase power. Like I think they spend millions because Vallarta had to do that. So that entire stretch is like completely revitalized Woodley. It's incredible. So like our facility and Woodley's facility and the Vallarta market has really changed the entire landscape of Woodley. So it's something that I think like there's going to be a lot of development, and if you go down the street, I think further down the street there's like a big apartment complex. So they're definitely doing some really great things, and I think really our facility, I don't want to say like, oh, it's because it's not ours, but I mean the developer's facility. It's not mine. I wish I owned this, but that's something else. It's really changed. first of all, it took away a lot of the old dilapidated, like non-conforming buildings and put together something that there's a real need for the community. I mean, I'll tell you, this building has only been open since February, knock on wood, and we're already at 11%. Unprecedented. We're at 11% occupancy.
Well, everybody has too much stuff. So
Yeah.
what is it that you are asking of us today?
I'm just asking if we could get your letter of support so we can go forward in our next hearing meetings that are coming up. And again, just like always, you know, I want to make sure, you know, I'm in front of you guys. I want to show it. I'd like to bring some excitement. I don't know. Some people like self-storage, you know, we find it's exciting, you know, something new for the community, something modern. And we always want to bring it to you guys so we can get your support.
So there's two official committee members, Jim Stein and Danica.
I'm gonna try and raise my hand again.
Okay, your hand is raised.
Okay. Speaking for myself, we would like to see about getting the percentage of the
You
fee.
show us how to do that and we'll do it. We don't know how. You let us know how to do that. The percentage of what? Of which part?
The 1%.
1% fees.
Show us how to do it. If anybody can show us, we're welcome. Because it doesn't come to us.
Yeah. Well,
It goes to the city council.
it goes to the
Yeah,
city council. We don't know how to
however-
get that money. We know how to get that money back, but you, at one point or another, you will have to pay those fees either directly to the city,
Yeah.
or you can have it directed to the neighborhood council.
I just want to know how we can do that. If someone can teach us.
I will make
then
every effort to try and find that out for you.
Please do, because I mean, I'd rather go to the community than to freaking, sorry. I don't care going to these people, you know, it doesn't make sense for us.
Mhm.
I
So would somebody
appreciate that.
like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
Okay, so since there's only two of you, I guess you both vote yes. Is that correct?
Yes, we vote-
That's
vote
correct.
Yes.
Okay, so I will write a letter and I will include the 1% that it would go to the Lake Balboa community, if you're all in
Okay.
agreement with that. Well then, Jonathan, thank you very much. I appreciate your coming on a holiday evening
Thank
to
you.
explain this to us.
Oh, of course, I appreciate it. I'm going to be bringing another project to you guys shortly, hopefully in the next month or so, another one, not a self-storage, but an
That's good.
an automotive facility that I brought actually I was actually here last February 20th. Or I was here
Oh.
President's Day. I was here last year,
Huh.
Well, welcome back.
right?
It's our
It is.
anniversary.
It
Very
is the
good.
anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you don't have to stay.
Perfect. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jonathan.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so that means we are now on number 7, discussion and possible action regarding proposed 10 small lot subdivision townhomes at 6435 and 6439 Woodley. And that's presented by Danny Eshed. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, perfect.
Wonderful, thank you. So give us the scoop, Danny.
Okay, very good. Well, first I want to thank Danica for helping me out. We had a quick chat, and then I followed up with Linda, and thank you both of you for accommodating this meeting pretty quickly. And also, I guess it's a holiday. I mean, so I appreciate it.
Well, you know, we volunteers don't get a holiday.
What?
Well, You can't even
Yeah.
go meet with your family.
I'll, I'll try to make it a sweet experience for everybody. I'm not, I don't have much experience presenting to the neighborhood council, so bear with me, and I guess I'll just go ahead and share the screen.
Thank you.
I think I'll need your permission.
No, I think you should be able to.
It says you cannot start screen share while the other participant is sharing. I guess Jonathan is still with
Oh,
his.
Jonathan needs to stop sharing. Hey, Jonathan?
Looks like he's there, but he stepped away.
I know.
Can you
Jonathan?
throw him out, Linda?
Let me see. Yeah, I'm removing him. Hi, Jonathan.
Bye.
Okay, bye, Jonathan. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. So, I guess I wanna start, maybe I'll pull up the map for the location. Oops. Okay, well. Actually, hold on one second.
Yeah, that's us.
Mhm.
Haven't changed a bit.
Bear with me one second. I just want to organize this. Okay. So I'll start with the orientation. So this is two properties, and they're 6435 and 6439 Woodley Avenue.
It's a Woodley kind of day.
Yeah, it
a
is.
lovely day.
So that's these two properties here. So I guess I'll open the Zimas as well, just so we can
Okay, so that's
see.
just north of Victory.
Mhm.
So between Victory and Van Allen.
So this is a QRD 1.5-1- Rio zone. So pretty much RD 1.5. And we're not asking any, what's the word, like any,
Zone changes.
any zone change, any code modifications whatsoever. So yeah, I'll get to that in a second. So just this was to show you the zone. So we have R1 in here, R1.5 here. We're all within the residential area, and the orientation is right, yeah, north to Victory. And I think you're all very well oriented. So as far as the neighborhood, it's a mixture of duplexes, apartment buildings, and some single family residence. So we're pretty much, the owner is called DeLilly Properties. His name is Peter DeLilly, and he owns these two houses. And they're on a month-to-month rental. And this is the location, these two properties. And this is like a two-story apartment buildings here. This is a three-story apartment right next to us. Another two-story. I have this one here if you want to see. So these are the two houses that we own. And this is a neighbor 3+1, almost 4-story building. And we're proposing a 3-story townhome. I'll show you a little bit more in a minute. This is a one-story house. After it is two-story apartment. Across the street, we have another three-story, two-story. So within the neighborhood scale. So I just wanna mention that we're using a small lot subdivision ordinance. This is an ordinance, maybe about 8 years old. I'm not sure actually. I haven't seen too many of these here in Balboa Lake, but as many of you know, as some of you may know, the small lot subdivision is a very nice hybrid between small houses. So it's not a big housing project, but it's not an apartment either, meaning you own your own property. And each property will feature a two-car garage and a roof deck. So it's pretty much following the small lot subdivision ordinance, what we call hometowns. This is just a little bit outdated handout, but it's pretty similar. And we're following all the guidelines. And now I'll show you the proposed project. So this is the front facade. And I'll show you the drawings in a second. I just want to start with the picture. This is like our pretty picture. So, I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Dani Eshed from Eshed Architects. So I designed this building. I'm a small studio small architecture studio, and I do everything with the draftsperson, and I do all the design. I'll do all the communication between the owners and the engineers and the city. Basically, I'm running my own shop, and I'm the designer. And yeah. So this is my front facade. As you can see, pretty modern. This will be a combination of white slat metal paneling with the wood slats. And there's 5 townhomes here and 5 townhomes here. And let me go to the drawings. Let's see if I want to say anything else before that. I guess I'll
But they all,
go ahead.
Go
are
ahead,
they all
Karen.
the same square footage?
Approximately, I'll show you in a minute. I just wanted to say one more word about the orientation. So, we're facing all 3 sides in terms of sun exposure. So sunrise is here, so a lot of sun will face these 2 units. And then as we go around, sun will filter through the middle. There's a middle open space for the driveway. And then during sunset there. I'm just going over my notes. I just remembered I wanted to mention that. Okay.
So
I'll go-
Danny, can the people go in from the back street and the front street? I mean, is it like a drive-through?
It's the car. Let me show you the drawings. Okay. Here is the site plan. So the idea is that it would be open on both sides.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, there is an alley in the back. And that's this alley here. And then there will be a brand new driveway right here in the middle
Okay.
that would pretty much go through.
And then they enter, I assume they probably have garages right there that they would enter from that middle
Yes,
section. Okay.
yes, correct. So
Okay.
this is the site plan. And
Gotcha.
there
Oh, I
will
see
be-
the cars.
yeah, there will be a brand new driveway here. And this
Uh-huh.
already been through preliminary zoning plan check, which is approved.
Okay.
If you want, I can share that document. But this is really straightforward. There's a
Is it,
set- Go ahead.
was it 10 units or 5 units?
10.
Okay,
5 on each side.
Got it.
on each side. Yeah, just to show you, this is called tentative tract map. Basically, each property will be subdivided. That's why they call it small lot subdivision. And they will be sold individually. So this property here, the two properties in the front will be bigger because they will include the front yard. But the driveway is shared with an easement. So they all have the rights to go through. But as you can see, this property here, for example, what I call lot 1, would own half of the driveway up to this area.
Mhm.
That portion I'm not, there's a surveyor engineering, and they are the experts on the subdivision. So this is how they do it.
Mhm.
That's how each unit gets to be owned individually, which is a nice combination, like I mentioned, for the neighborhood between providing housing, but also providing ownership for families. And even though those units are not big, you'll see that we managed to fit a decent number of bedrooms, and the living space is very nice. So let me go back and just go a little bit over the general information. Smaller subdivision, 10 units. We have the zones. It's based on the base density of RD 1.5, which is a unit for each 1,500, and we have 15,000, so that's 10 units. And there is a Q condition, which is a limit for 35 height limit, 35 feet, which we comply. We designed the buildings to be up to 35 feet. We're not asking any exceptions on that either.
Okay.
Regarding square footage, so you can see an example here of unit 1. It has first floor 300, second floor 630, third floor 500, and then 400 garage. So it's a total building floor area of 2,159 square feet. And then you can see that other units are a little bigger. It goes up to 2,400. So that's you get a sense of the average size of the units. And I guess at this point I can walk you through the floor plan to give you a sense of how a unit operates. So I'll click on this one. Let's say this unit right here. So you have basically the side yards are the main entrance for guests and people who come by foot. So meaning both of these side yards here and here would be a walkways where the entrances are located. The two front units are entrances facing the street. It's actually a requirement for the smaller subdivision ordinance. So if you remember this picture, the two front units entrance is facing the street.
Mhm.
All the other units entrances are facing the side yard, which is 5.5 feet.
How much?
5.5, 5 feet 6 inches. So there's the garage door from the main driveway side and the front door from the side yard side. And there's a small bedroom here. If someone works from home, you can use that bedroom. And then there's a bathroom here, and then stairs going up.
Mhm.
Okay, second floor. This is where I have another bedroom and a living space. So these are the stairs. These are like circular stairs. You go up, you go back to the hallway, you go up, you go back to the hallway, so on and so forth. This bathroom is shared both by the bedroom and the living room. Living room, dining room, kitchen.
Okay.
And some of the units have a balcony, some have a kind of like a I call it Juliet balcony, where it looks like a balcony from the outside, but it's pretty narrow.
Okay.
And then I'll go to so that's the second floor. And third floor, I have 2 bedrooms with 2 baths. As you can see, pretty self-explanatory.
Huge closet.
Yeah, this is like a master unit. Almost half of this floor plan is a master unit with a big closet, big bathroom,
Okay.
4
now-
bathrooms?
2 bathrooms.
Well, 2 bathrooms. The floor below had 1 bathroom and the floor below that had a bathroom?
Yes. And lastly, the
Nice.
stairs go up to the roof, and there's a roof deck. Each unit has a roof deck, 300 square feet. So I would like to show you now the 3D model. It's a little, you'll have to use your imagination in terms of the materials, because this is a 3D model which I built, and basically the white surfaces here are what you saw here as the white vertical flat.
Mhm.
And those are the wood. And what I try to do is, even though there's repetition and the project is apparently very symmetrical and equally divided, you know, I still wanted to bring some randomness and fun to the design, which is why you see some materials is not symmetrical, right?
Right.
And I actually took effort in also reproducing that in the facades facing each other. So for example, some balconies have a glass railing, but the one facing it has a open wood railing, open balcony wood railing. So I took the effort to make sure there's variations within that and that it doesn't feel like it's just one box after the other. So as you can see, it's basically modern, clean design. I'm gonna let the landscape come out and be clearly adding as an add-on. And I kind of wanted to make the front feel a little bit less as a big complex and more like as a intimate, homey entrances.
Danny, do you have a rendition of the other side? Because the trash bins are going to be on the other side, and the electrical,
Mhm.
and that's
Yes.
going to be on the
Alley side.
Alley.
Yes. Yes, I don't have a rendering, but I have rendered elevations, which are, I'll show you in a second. So let me just address that comment. In the backyard, we have the gas meters here, trash containers here. And then on the other side, I have some open space with electrical. So that's the backyard. Now, in terms of the rendering, I'll show you the elevation. So it's maybe a little bit hard to read, but this is the front facade. Use those dots, but really it's just to give, in the printing, it doesn't print rich, it's just flat. So try to ignore those dots. There's no dot on the design, it's just line. So those are the side. Okay, here is the back facade. So I tried to minimize the number of windows here, but I did have one window here, and that's where the trash bins are. Mostly, I guess, towards this area. This will have the gas meters, and this would have some electrical meters. This window, for example, is maybe not necessary because it's a garage, but here, if I would go to this, if you want to see, I can show you this floor plan, what's happening. I think it's an extension of the living room. So it would be nice to bring some light, but I tried to keep it away from the trash bins. I mean, they will be, you know, shut closed, but
Mhm.
we still want some separation there. Mm.
Now, the third floor, and it's always an issue, even though it's an alleyway. The third floor would be able to look into the yards of the people that are on the street. And I know that Tom always asked for, like special windows or something to, kind of keep a little privacy. But Karen and then Jim.
Yeah, I can go over the third floor. As you can see, in matter of fact, this is the third floor, and this is the wall that's facing the alley. So this is mostly opaque. There's only one window here.
And what room is that?
That's a bedroom. But if
Oh.
you are opposed to that, I don't really have to have this window since I
No,
have. Anyway, I'm just making a note. There's another window already for this bedroom. Regarding the other unit, there's a few more windows. Since I'm reaching the top of the stairs here, I do want to be able to have some natural light. So there's a window here on the third floor. And then,
Yeah, I don't think people are going to be standing there looking in the backyard, but you never know.
yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a project just like that across my street, and I don't really see anyone stand. But yeah, it's a valid question. Let's see.
Karen, you have a question?
Yeah, it may be a little out of your expertise, but are these condos, co-ops? How do they deal with the common areas in these home ownerships?
The common areas we have are the front yards, which is this one here and this one here. Those would be, I'm sure, if you have a kid and you want them to get just a little bit of fresh air, you may want to walk them here and let them play maybe with their ball. I'm not sure. So anyway, that's the front yard, and just to refresh our memory, it would look it's somewhat like that.
So
Yeah.
is there like a homeowners association that's required? Because there is common area, like
Like the
if the
driveway.
if the driveway needs to be fixed at some point in time, do you
Who's gonna-
fix what's
yeah.
in front of you or how to? There must be
I-
some dues, right?
Yeah, I think it's a good question, and I don't actually know what's the official policy on who's allowed to go where specifically. I don't think there's a homeowner association per se, but maybe they have
Yeah.
some common shared. Yeah, I'm not sure. Just to wrap up the thought, so there's these two front yards, then the side yard, like I said, it's a walkway on both sides. And then in the back, there's the trash, and then here, I just provided some greenery, even if it's just for the visual. I don't think anyone would literally go here to sit down to read a book or anything, but I just put the label of landscape just so they can have even just some plants. And actually, there's a landscape plan if you want to see that.
I would think they would have to have some type of HOA, because if like years down the road in 20 years, if
A
there's
pipe
a
burst or,
leak bursting, yeah, I'm sure they have to have.
Yeah,
And if there's any lawn, great, as small as it is, somebody has to pay for it.
Right, to keep it up. There's upkeep, there's maintenance on the building, definitely.
yes. You're correct. There is some form of a shared responsibility where they pay something for the maintenance and
And trash pickup.
sure,
Right.
of course.
Was that your question, Karen?
pretty much.
Okay, Jim?
Um, Couple of questions. It's hard for me to tell whether or not eh, there's whether folks would be looking in on anyone to the sides. I can't tell that. And so that's one of my questions. If necessary on the back, I suppose you could always use some sort of smoked glass or something to resolve that issue.
Mhm.
I'm curious whether or not there's any parking at all, or you took into consideration parking for visitors. It seems that the only thing available is actually along the curb. Is there fire hydrants there or something? Because if you take out the section that's the drive-through between the buildings, it looks like there's probably a maximum of maybe 6, and yet you have 10 units. So that's not a lot of visitor parking. I appreciate the fact that you have the 2 parking spaces per unit, but
Mhm.
I'm questioning whether that would actually be enough when you start talking about visitors.
Mhm.
And my last question had to do with shared responsibility. Is there any way to prevent people from blocking that drive-through between the buildings? If there was, God forbid, any sort of fire or anything like that, somebody could be blocking that, and that would be an issue. Um, uh, the and you said earlier when in your presentation, you said that it was owned property. I know this area of Woodley. It's not the best area, although I must say that this building, it's beautiful looking, and this would certainly be an improvement to it. I don't have any problem with that. But there is a lot of problems. It's a gang area. Let's just come right down to it. It's a gang area, and if no one is looking after this stuff, this stuff will be tagged within 2 or 3 weeks. It would be badly damaged within 2 months. That's the end of my question, sir.
All right, very good. So let me try to address I think the main point was about parking. So there is no proposed visitor parking designated. There's no requirement for it in the zoning code. As far as there's no, so you mentioned there's fire hydrant. There's no fire hydrant in front of these 2 properties. This is the survey, and if you want to see here, I don't know if hopefully no cars is blocking. I don't know if you want me to. So yeah, these are all available parking spaces, and like I mentioned, there's 2 enclosed parking spaces for each unit, and that's what I have for the parking. Go ahead.
No gate in the front or the back of the driveway?
Well, I was thinking of, let me go back to the drawings. Okay. Let me go back to here. Yeah, so I think I'm trying to remember if I was gonna put a fence, like a gate, like an automated gate here to secure the alley. That's definitely something I am considering. If you guys think it's a good idea, I can go ahead with it. The front is open though. There's no
no
I've
ability
seen-
to,
Yeah, I've seen by now probably 20 smaller subdivision projects. That's all open. You can walk in. There's no gate in here. I don't think we want to put a gate on Woodley. We can put a fence here. Actually, there's a gate, like a main gate here and on the other side. So when you walk into your unit, let's say you're a guest, so there would be a gate right here.
with
and-
that, would there be a call box?
Yeah, like an intercom with
Yeah.
you can ring the tenant and they can let you in for sure. Yeah, that's part of the design. I didn't put it here in the rendering, but it is in the drawing. And this is for sure gonna happen. But I don't think I want a gate. Anyway, these are all garage doors. You don't really need
Yeah.
much protection there.
You really should have a gate in the back of the alley, in
Yes.
my humble
Yes,
opinion.
Yes, I agree. I did write the word gate here.
Danny, I agree with that because if there's going to be traffic going to the freeway, I can see people going down the alley and zipping on through to go down to the park or down to the freeway. And I don't think you want to have people driving through and making it another street. I think it'll be dangerous. And Jim, to talk about your graffiti, there's already a building there that looks pretty nice, and I'm hoping that it wouldn't be graffiti. But
Yeah.
Jim, you have another question?
Well, let me finish. I just want to see if I addressed. So the side, if you quickly want me to go over the side windows, maybe I'll start with a 3D model. So there's not too much of a big, oopsie. There's not much of a big windows facing.
Yeah, the front's not the problem. It's the back because there's single family residences on the street behind.
Yeah,
There's an alley though.
Yeah, there's an alley.
Yeah, but
here.
they're 3 stories.
Yeah,
Right, I did limit the number of windows, as you can see here in the back, and you can also see it in the drawings.
I think it'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll just go back to the back facade there. This one. So as you can see, yeah, there's a window here and here. They're really not big or many. Jim, I didn't understand one of your question about what if there's a fire? What was the question? Can you maybe?
Oh, well, I was concerned if, since there isn't a lot of visitor parking, people could just come in, park in that center section, and a fire truck or whatever, if needed, get in there would have an issue.
You're saying maybe someone can't find parking, have to grab something, will just park in the driveway, and then maybe someone wants to get out and he's blocking him.
Yep.
Well, I think I need to mention it. I've seen a lot worse situations, believe me.
Right.
I mean, I've seen situations that have been built actually where you end up with a situation where the vehicles are parked in there and have to make
Mhm.
15-point turns in order to turn around so the fire truck can get in.
Yes.
That's not
Well-
acceptable.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I would say, considering the fact that we have 10 units that would pretty frequently, every 10 minutes someone's coming, every 20 minutes someone's leaving. So I can't imagine someone leaving his car there too long knowing that, but it's a valid point.
It looks like a nice project.
yeah.
It definitely does. My last question had to do with, I can't tell from the, it's hard for me to tell whether or not people in your building would be looking in on anyone to, on anyone in the buildings to the north or south? Because I can't tell what those buildings look like. And so that's why I mentioned it.
You mean like from here to this building? Or from this one
Well-
to the one?
Are there, is there any way that the folks in this new project would be looking in on people to the buildings to the north or the south? Is there an issue there that I should be concerned with?
Sure. Let me address that. So regarding the building to the north, it's a 3-story apartment building. And let me show you that building. So there are some windows here. We can't see too many, but I also have some pictures. Maybe I'll try to pull those. Yeah, that's not very many pictures. There's only this one here. So there are windows on this neighboring building,
Mhm.
and on my proposed building, it would be these. So these windows house bedrooms, which I have to provide egress. And to answer your question, there is a possibility that some windows.
Well, maybe if it was possible, I mean, everything else about your buildings are so nice.
Mhm.
It would make them that much nicer if you could do it, to use like smoked glass or whatever. It just makes your whole project just that little bit nicer.
Yeah. Okay, I can consider. I did want to mention that I did take the effort in terms of, I know that's not your question, but in terms of facing each other, when there's a balcony, it's facing a part of the wall that doesn't have even a window. I don't know if you can tell, but for example, this balcony here is facing this wall. But anyway, that's for the project within itself.
That's nice, and it's appreciated, by the way. Thank you.
And just to mention, the project on the south is a house, so that one I think is less of a concern. But I'm sure people will install curtains.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say in these 1950s houses, you could see the teenager getting dressed. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, Karen, we know the New York tenements, okay?
Hey, listen, I had a whole relationship with the guy across the street from me. It's fine.
Right.
But I'm curious, Danny, the material that you're using for the building, which is very attractive,
Mhm.
I'm curious how those materials have lasted over time.
Oh, well, let me show you maybe this. Okay, I'm gonna share with you my cheat sheet. No, I'm just kidding. This is my inspiration, okay? That's a picture I saw. I don't know who's the architect and where is this located, but I just fell in love with it. And I said, that's it. So that's the concept. And these materials are very durable. This is a high-end metal panels. And these wood would be synthetic wood. They will be very durable, like Trex.
Yeah,
almost like
I
a
just always wonder, I mean, I'm asking you because I'm getting to talk to you, but
Sure.
I wonder all the time when I see these materials on, $8 million homes. I don't know that you're using the same material as the $8 million homes, but how they stand up over time, because the
Yeah.
buildings look, things look nice when they're new.
Mm.
And I just always wonder what they look like when they're not new anymore.
Sure.
And
I honestly believe this is one of those that has both the durability and the elegance to maintain its elegance. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
nice.
the durability to remain. And there's
I
also a
think,
small.
yeah, it looks like you did a lovely use of the space.
Mhm. Yeah. There's a small canopy over each entrance door. It's hard to see, but it's like a thicker metal that sticks out. Anyway,
Does anyone have any more questions? So, Danny, what do you need from us today?
I believe it's what the other gentleman referred to as letter of support. The project has been submitted to the planning department, and there is a hearing. I'm waiting for the date. I believe that the planner will finish his review, and there's a hearing that will be scheduled maybe next month. And they will look to see if you have any comments, the neighborhood council.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion?
Uh, I'd like to find a way of getting our 1%, by the way.
We'll figure that out, right? That'll be in the letter.
So is that, if I understand correctly, a fee that you're trying to get directed towards the neighborhood?
Please.
Yes, I honestly, I'll be happy to support that.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry to have cut you off, Danica.
Oh, I move that we support the 10 SFD small lot division at 6435 and 6439 Woodley Avenue.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Jim, yes?
Yes.
Danica, yes?
Yes, yes.
Yes, this motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Wasn't too bad, was it?
I like this project, and I knew it's gonna come across pretty nicely, and I care about it, and I believe it's gonna be nice for the neighborhood.
And it's actually needed. You know, one thing we didn't find out is what's the approximate cost?
Yeah, I was,
Yeah.
Do you know what the cost would be for a unit?
For the cost
Sell
for
for.
each unit. I don't have any number in front of me. I don't think the owner even started. Maybe he has his own calculation. It wasn't part of my conversations with him. Honestly, I believe it would be compatible with similar projects.
Which means we who have been here a while can't afford it.
Well, you know what? Prices are going a little bit lower now.
yeah. Well, I actually have one last question. From start to finish, is there an estimate of how long, like, you know, from groundbreaking to completion, how long a project like this takes in the
Well,
best case scenario?
yeah, I mean, I would actually say realistically, it's a year. Best case scenario can go down to 10 months. But the owner has his construction team, and they're actually experienced with this kind of project, and they're pretty quick.
And it's really a great location because the Orange Line is there, and you can take your bike and go into the Sepulveda Basin. So it's really, you know, a nice location.
Yeah, you're really close to Lake Balboa.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay, well,
Yeah.
we
I
voted.
just think you
and
could
we'll-
go to the storage unit down the street with your
Yeah.
bike.
Very good. Very
Thank-
good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks,
Right.
Danny.
You
Okay.
can also leave. It's okay. You don't have to stay to the bitter end.
Okay. Thank you. And have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Okay, number 9, public comment. Please advise the neighborhood council if you are a registered lobbyist. Please advise the neighborhood council if you are a Lake Balboa neighborhood stakeholder. Comments from the public on non-agenda items and issues, announcements, and complaints within the jurisdiction of the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council. You have 2 minutes per speaker. State of California Brown Act prevents the board from discussing your comments. General public, that would be you, Karen. Do you have any comment on something that's not on the agenda?
No, nice to see everyone. That's it.
Here too. Jim, you're on the board, so you can't be in public comment.
I cannot speak as a stakeholder.
Not really, but go ahead.
Okay. As a stakeholder, I'm going to the Valley Relics Museum tomorrow to watch Forgotten History of Lake Balboa from 7 to 8:30.
Very
Oh.
good.
Wow. I go
Oh.
to Pilates right at that same hangar, and my class ends at 6 or 7. I'm not quite sure.
Well,
Great, we'll see you
I'll see you
tomorrow night.
there.
Okay,
Yeah.
before we're being recorded, so
Oh.
I missed 8, discussion of possible action regarding Council File 22-0560, municipal lobbying ordinance. What this is a lot of neighborhood councils have issues with land use. There are a lot of lobbyists that come in. Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council voted to support the changes that the Ethics Commission put forward. There have been several, I think 2 or 3 previously, but they were never voted on by City Council. And a gal from Reseda Neighborhood Council got together, and this is unprecedented. There were 45 out of the 99 neighborhood council that voiced their opinion to support this. So I'm just letting you know that it's going to go before City Council, and it's really interesting. If each neighborhood council really only has 50,000 stakeholders within their boundaries, that's 2,250,000 voices that are saying we support this. And what was happening is lobbyists would come, and vocally they didn't have to say I'm a lobbyist, but if they were writing comments, they would have to write that they were a lobbyist. So this is one of the things. And what happens is you think they're in public comment or discussing the issue itself. You think they're just a stakeholder when in fact they have a financial gain if the project goes through. So this is extremely important for the community, and you can voice your own personal opinions if you go into the council file. And if you don't know how to do that, I will be happy to show you. And then, so we did number 9 and number 10. It is 8:26, meeting adjourned. Thank you so much.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, see you tomorrow.
Good night.
See you
Okay,
tomorrow.
with the cookies. Bye. I have to stop the recording. Where is it?